question is, are you ready?
Good morning, Crema de Nona. How we doing out there today? It is another fine... It's Tuesday, isn't it? It's another fine Tuesday
It's
morning.
the day after Monday and the day before Wednesday.
All right. See, that's why I got Julio here, so I know where the hell I'm at. So I can't believe for a second. I was hoping it was Friday. You know, start a nice weekend here in Augusto.
Yeah, and my month is over. Se fue Julio.
That's right. See you later.
Yeah. But hey, happy Tuesday, Taco Tuesday, Bourbon Tuesday, Heineken Tuesday, any kind of Tuesday you want it to be, right?
Tito's Tuesday.
Tito's. Yes.
Tuesday.
There it is.
So with us today we have our buddy Craig Rodrigue with CSR Associates. So with all this Heineken stuff going on, we wanted to bring him in to tell us everything that's been changing and that's different. And on top of it, we are going to talk about Obamacare, Trump care, what do I care? So
Who cares?
he's going to let us know what we should care about, why we should care about it, and give us all the little tidbits of information that we can make informative choices on.
There we go.
Yeah,
absolutely.
We also want to know if Rob looks up to us, because if we were to stand up, Rob would actually be looking up to us.
Yeah,
Craig, I mean,
I got to run a special
That's right,
lens to make myself look like I'm the same height as them. And those of you that don't know, Craig, you are the tallest at Crema,
Yes,
aren't
that's
you?
right. Yeah.
So this is our tallest.
he'll run neck and neck with Lowell. Because Lowell's
No,
gonna talk to us.
Lowell tried to claim he was taller than me.
He
but he wasn't.
claimed.
Yeah, we put
Sorry,
that in.
Lowell.
So we had Lowell, we had Kyle. So you guys have met some of the tallest we have to offer. So maybe we need to get a little closer to my end of the scale.
Yeah. Only taller, just meant better. Yeah.
Yeah.
That's what I'm going with.
So
Grow up.
Craig, how you doing? How's it been going?
We are doing well. You know, it's been an interesting few months, as everybody knows in the world, and we've been working pretty much every day. And so what we have going on in the world right now is, of course, employers are struggling a little bit. And so what I want to talk about today is the response from the insurance companies to those employers. I think that'll be something that'll be helpful to them. By now, many of them may already know what options they have, but they definitely have options. So we want to talk a little bit about that. We want to talk a little bit about the free money that you can get, because everybody's giving money back. All the insurance
Did you just
companies.
say free money?
All the insurance companies are giving money back. It's been an interesting time there. And then we want to talk about kind of moving forward, what's going on the rest of this year with the health insurance. So,
Shoot, we needed you on here earlier.
yeah,
A lot of
absolutely.
people have been struggling to get information on this. And now we got you to give us some great insight.
Absolutely, yeah. And so let's kind of start on the employer front. You know, what happened with employers, this is a little bit unprecedented. I always hesitate to say unprecedented totally, because nothing's unprecedented ever in history. Things have happened like this before. But it was a little bit unprecedented for us because, unlike President Obama's recession, where we still had the opportunity to try, right? I could say, well, I'll rework my business. If I work some more hours or run a special, I'll figure out how to stay open. This was unique because the government told us we didn't have the opportunity to try, and many businesses were closed. One of my largest employers, 450 people lost their job the first day the government said you can't be open anymore. So the question then was, what are we going to do? And many of the employers, they didn't want to terminate an employee's health insurance in the middle of a pandemic. But there's a challenge there, because insurance companies say in order to be eligible for health insurance, you have to work enough hours. You got to work 30 hours a week.
And have enough participation.
And have enough participation and all of those things. Well, nobody's working 30 hours. The business is closed, or I had to furlough you. And so one of the immediate responses there is the insurance company said, all right, fine. You don't have to have them working hours. If you want to furlough them and leave them on the plan, we're okay with that. Just pay the premium. But then people couldn't pay the premium because they didn't have any revenue. So the insurance companies even went as far as to postpone premium payments on group plans, on individual plans. They tried to give people an opportunity to figure out how to get those payments made. And so that was huge. You know, we hit this pandemic, and I'll give you an interesting side note that many people don't realize is we hit a pandemic, and the concern was insurance claims were going to be through the roof, right? But what happened? Actually the opposite happened. What happened there is not only were claims not through the roof, there actually was almost no claims. Anybody that knows anybody that was working in the medical field knows, well, the doctor's offices were closed, all surgeries were canceled, hospitals were laying people off. Well, that created an interesting dynamic. So as of June, the insurance companies all started giving dollars back to the insurers. United Healthcare refunded $1.5 billion back to their insureds. It just showed up as a credit on your group premium this month. So in July, many of my employers were calling me and saying, what's this huge credit I have on my bill? 15, 20%, 30% of the bill just showed up as a credit. Was because United refunded $1.5 billion. Blue Cross Blue Shield of Florida, just Florida, is refunding $500 million.
They did that automatically, or you had to put in a claim for it?
United Healthcare just refunded. It just showed as a credit on the bill.
Okay.
Blue Cross is telling people, hey, you can earn wellness credits, and you get a wellness credit by, I take a little questionnaire, I get a height and weight BMI done, or I do these little things.
Yeah.
You can earn as much as $500 right now, no problem. You could probably earn it in 3 or 4 hours.
Wow.
You could earn $500 that would either go towards your premium, or they'll mail you a debit card and you get it like cash in your hand just for doing a couple of little things. The important thing that we want people to know here is there's options. Don't think that you have your health insurance and you have to lose it because you haven't been able to pay the premium or you're struggling to keep the employees on the plan. A lot of other really interesting things happened around that. So let's say Rob worked for me and Rob declines my health insurance back in January when I had open enrollment.
Why do I got to be the dumb one?
Well, yeah, you
we know why.
We know how that goes. But what happens is COVID hit, and now Rob's worried and saying, oh crap, I should have took that health insurance. The insurance companies will actually allow him to enroll outside of open enrollment. Or maybe he's on the plan, but he didn't put his wife or his kids on. They'll let him enroll his wife and his kids even now outside of open enrollment. There's flexibility. There's things you can do. The important thing is we need to communicate, right? As an employer, I need to be communicating with the agent. I need to be communicating with the insurance company. Here's what's happening in my business. Here's what's going on. Here's what my plan is. We've been able to work with the carriers, get bills postponed, delayed, to try to work that out.
And I'm sure there's been a lot of notification, whether through email, because they,
Tons.
I mean, you're getting some type of notification. You got to know what's going on.
Absolutely. You're getting a ton of notification from that standpoint, but people may not have opened it.
Well, pay attention. I mean,
Pay attention.
No, you have to, especially something like this is so important under Heineken times.
The Heineken times. You're absolutely right. In Heineken times, you need to pay attention.
Yeah.
So let's talk about a couple of other interesting things that have gone down. So historically speaking, if Craig left his job, he's got a chance to take Cobra, right? Cobra's a continuation of the employer's plan. But man, I got fired and it's the middle of Heineken times. I didn't think I had money to take my Cobra, or maybe I didn't think I needed it. I didn't believe the virus existed or any of that stuff. Well, interestingly enough, your Cobra election is for 60 days from the date that you leave. Well, President Trump starts 60 days from the time you leave. So if Rob left in March, April, May, by the end of May, Rob can't make a Cobra election anymore because he's past his time.
Don't be me. Be like Mike, not like me.
That's the second bad
decision.
decision
I didn't
you
take
made.
it, and then I don't even follow up with it. Jeez.
Yes, you made a lot of bad decisions here. But by the end of May,
He got you.
Yeah, I got you. I got your back right here. He wouldn't be eligible anymore. Well, President Trump signed an executive order and declared a state of emergency. Then said with that state of emergency, Rob's ability to elect Cobra continues on until the state of emergency has ended. Which it hasn't ended yet.
Okay.
He's got 60 days from the date the state of emergency ends to make his Cobra election. We're already into August. The state of emergency still exists. Let's say by the end of August, they say, oh, state of emergency is done. September, October, he could still make that Cobra election.
Now, is there some kind of wait time or okay, like her regular insurance, hurricane comes through, like this past one, you got a 30-day wait, you can't bind anything. Is it the same thing on that? So say I go this 6 months and I decide, okay, today I'm going to do it, but either say my wife or kids or even myself, I'm not feeling so hot or something. How does that work? Is there a time to wait?
But that's exactly why you would do it. So normally we all think insurance world coverage starts basically first of the month after you decide to buy it, right? So if he decided today I want health insurance, I go, oh, look, it's going to start September 1st. You'll be all set. Have a nice day. The pro and the con to Cobra is when you make your Cobra election, it goes back to date of termination. We're taking you all the way back to March when you lost coverage.
So that's huge.
Huge. Now, the con to that is you owe premium back to date of termination. The pro to that is, God forbid Rob was admitted to the hospital tomorrow, racked up $300,000 in claims. You can make that Cobra election, pay that little bit of premium, and all those claims get covered.
Wow. So 10 grand as opposed to 300,000.
Right, but here's the thing: Cobra's an independent election. So Julio had family coverage on his group plan.
See how smart I am?
Yeah, but wait, it's coming, right?
He leaves his employment. His child could take Cobra even if nobody else in the family did. Cobra's an independent election. So in Julio's case, Julio left his employer. 6 months later, he's been admitted to the hospital. He needs to take Cobra. He doesn't have to Cobra the whole family. He can Cobra just himself.
Individual.
Just yourself, or just your child, or just your wife. So you only owe premium for that person.
Wow.
It's an independent event. He can take it even if nobody else does.
And we understand that this, with Cobra, you're not going to be paying the same premium as the group plan or anything else.
It's
what
kind
happens, of costly, but I mean, at least you have coverage.
Well, what happens with Cobra is just the full premium plus a little 2% for administration. The reason why everybody thinks Cobra is expensive is they never believe the employer when the employer said, I'm paying $300 a month for you.
And now get it by yourself. It's
$800. Now you got to pay the $300. They never believe the employer. So they go, oh, Cobra is so expensive. Yeah. Now, having said that, what we've done with a lot of people is we try to help them make that decision, right? You're trying to decide, should I take my Cobra? Should I buy an individual plan? We write coverage on the exchange with subsidies, off the exchange without, MediShare, the Christian sharing program, as well as Cobra. Our job is not to sell you insurance. Our job is to find the right solution for you. Sometimes that's take Cobra. Sometimes it's pick something else. Sometimes it's call my buddy Dave because he's got the better plan for you. So if you're in this scenario and you're trying to figure out what to do, you can call us and we can look at everything from MediShare to stuff with subsidies, stuff without subsidies, the Cobra, and then we're going to give you advice. Hey, this is the right plan for you and this is why. It's kind of interesting because I was on the phone one day with this lady. I'm like 10 minutes, I'm telling her to take her Cobra. And I'm giving her all the reasons. You just need to take the Cobra. And finally she goes, I realize it's your job to sell me insurance. But I said, well, frankly, ma'am, I've been sitting here for 10 minutes trying as hard as I could not to sell you an insurance plan, but to get you to take your Cobra. I said, I'm doing everything I can here. And it wasn't until I said that she finally just said, oh, yeah, you're right. It was like she was so busy thinking I was trying to sell her something that I was like, I've been working as hard as I can for 10 minutes.
So you're basically like a consultant. People can rely on you for information. You're the resource. You've got an arm, of connections as well.
Yes,
right?
Absolutely. Yeah. For sure. Now, so let's have a little more fun. One of the things that's happened during this period of time is the insurance companies have had huge amounts of conference calls to try to educate us what's happening, what options do the people have. Well, I sat on a call with the medical director for United Health Group. So this lady is in charge of hundreds of thousands of insureds.
That's going to be a fun job.
Yes, tell me about it. And she's been reviewing the situation and everything that's going on with the Heineken deal, right? Trying to figure all this out. And so she said a few things that I just want to kind of let people know kind of their perspective. So first of all, we look at something like this and we say, well, how contagious has it been? How deadly has it been? and they felt like the numbers were looking better. And so in terms of contagious and deadly, certainly if you're in an older age group, 60 plus, it's been very bad. I heard yesterday President Trump said the average age of the person that's passed away was like 76 or something like that.
Oh, wow.
Yeah, that's up there.
Yeah, it's the average age. For most of us, it's not as deadly as we think. But she was talking about vaccines and the ability to create a vaccine, and everybody's heard about the mutation, right? It's mutating. And she explained it in a way that kind of made sense to me, so I'll try to explain it to you. She says, you can have virus A, and virus A mutates to virus B, to virus C, to virus D. And the general concept there is that's bad, because I can't create a vaccine to deal with that, right? Because of the kind of mutation it is. She says, now I can have virus A, and virus A makes little changes to itself. That's better because I can make a vaccine that deals with that. Now, when you come to creating a vaccine, she says, this is not a vaccine that Florida needs. It's a vaccine that the world needs. So the disappointing news in this is she was saying, even if we figured out the vaccine tomorrow, how do we produce enough quantity, even have enough vials? And there's only a few labs in the world that can produce something like that. So how do you produce enough for a worldwide volume?
And who gets treated first?
Who gets treated first?
Crema de Nona and its members?
Yes, absolutely.
Yeah, we'll start with us.
You heard it right here.
Yeah, right here. We're going to go first. And so the question is, kind of how do you...
In all seriousness, there is a protocol.
Yeah.
Yeah, and they'll probably start with an older population because the older population is definitely the one that's had the most issue with that.
Or the population where it's highest at. Like,
yeah. Yeah, they may come to Florida because we're like leading the numbers. Actually, we got beat now. California has more infections than we had for the first time. So we were leading the charge for a long time. But, how do you produce enough of this vaccine? So her feeling was we're going to be into March of next year before there's enough of a quantity of a vaccine like this to do a broad stroke, right? Doesn't mean I've got a few hundred and we'll treat these people in the nursing homes or what have you.
Now, you mentioned worldwide. Is it go to that far where we're reaching out, or does it start nationwide and then worldwide? Is that something that's here for the United States, or, we have to encompass?
Well, you have something that the entire world will want, right? The same effects that we're having here are the same effects they're having in basically every country.
Yeah. If
tomorrow Rob says, I've got a solution for this, well, America's bidding, Canada's bidding, Europe's bidding, India's bidding, everybody's bidding, saying, hey, we want that. We have a problem. Africa, everybody. Yeah. Because the entire world is suffering this same event. Which is part of what's making it unique. This hasn't happened in 100 years that we've had a plague like this. So that was a little disappointing because she was thinking, it's going to be some time before we have any real solutions to this. But she felt like it's mutating to a weaker version of itself, not a stronger version of itself, meaning, maybe people aren't going to be as sick as they were. Yeah. I heard an interesting report the other day where they were saying, remember the bird flu, the H1N1? And we were having this whole bird flu, and all of a sudden the bird flu was gone.
What bird flu?
Yeah, what bird flu, right? What happened there is a regular flu virus mutated and killed the bird flu. So it wasn't even actually a vaccine or anything that did it. Some other virus mutated and just took it out like a regular flu virus mutated and took it out. So there's a lot of things that could happen there in terms of a solution for us. God always provides one way or another, it seems like, for sure. So on the employer front and on the rebate front, I would tell people if you have insurance, definitely go and look and try to see what rebates are available to you, because pretty much every insurance company is doing that. Now, I just read an interesting report because my thought was, okay, no claims happened. Doctors' offices are closed. No surgeries are happening. My brother is married and his wife is a nurse anesthetist. So she's an anesthesiologist. And in their family, you always worry about events like this as a family, and the husband and the wife are saying, oh my God, what if I lost my job? What if I lost my job? And she's a nurse anesthetist, and she looks at her husband and goes, I will always be able to work Don't you worry about it.
Yeah.
I can work, right? I can take more shifts. I can do. She was the very first person laid off. As soon as they closed surgeries, she didn't have a job anymore. And so there's a case where in their family structure, she's like, don't worry, I'm the safety net. I got this because I can take hours. And all of a sudden she had no job.
Right.
And so I looked at that in terms of premiums for next year. And Craig's thinking, well, if there's no claims and claims drive premiums, then premiums should go down. Right? Because there was no claims this year. Carriers are going to rebate billions of dollars.
It's probably going to be the opposite because now they're not making any money.
I'm sure you'll tell us.
Well, so the carriers, on one hand, they can say, well, we had no claims. But on the other hand, they can say, what's coming? Like, is the virus going to mutate and suddenly we're going to have tons of claims from a mutation of the virus? To make a long story short, I was reading an article yesterday about filed rates because the carriers have to file their rates now for next year. Looks like moderate increases. Most carriers were filing 1 or 2% rate increases.
And that's reasonable. Right?
Which could be really good. That'd be the best we've had since Obamacare took effect, if you want to call it that. Because in general, rates have risen 10, 15, 20% every year since Obamacare took effect. So a 1 or 2% rate increase would be massive. There's really one other thing that we need to talk about. And so the other thing that we need to talk about is people need health insurance because they lost their job, or people need health insurance because they're scared because of COVID and maybe they had no insurance. What I want you to know is we have the ability to get you covered. If you had no insurance and you need a policy, call us. There's people that have COVID. We're writing coverage on people with cancers and heart attacks and strokes and pregnancies.
And you don't need the open enrollment.
It doesn't have to be open enrollment. We will get this done.
Because there's a misconception. People think, well, now I got to wait till November, or I got to wait till, and then the coverage starts in January, that kind of thing.
Yeah, you're absolutely right, because historically that's true. But with the COVID, they've made some exceptions for people to be able to get coverage. Now, it could be Julio lost his job. He lost his coverage. He's got 60 days to make a plan election. Call me right away, right? Maybe Rob was uninsured because we know he wasn't making good decisions all year.
No.
Call me. We'll help you figure something out, right? And I don't say that as a sales pitch. I say that as, I can't believe how many people are really scared and don't think they have an option, right?
Yeah.
And there is options, so don't sit there.
Well, even within having insurance, I know a ton of people are scared
Yes.
and worried and everything else. Now, how do pre-existing conditions fall in? Okay, so I didn't take it in January. I didn't take it in March. I sign up now, but this is a pre-existing condition going back however long. Is that something
Correct.
that can get picked up as well, or how does that fall in?
So the first thing we want to talk about is we already talked about Cobra will go backwards. Nothing we're going to do today except for Cobra is going backwards. Okay, so yes, Rob can call me today. Rob can buy a plan that'll start September 1st. Guaranteed issue, no pre-existing condition exclusions. So cancer, heart attack, stroke, pregnancy, all that stuff would be covered.
I don't think I'm pregnant.
Yeah, I hope you're not.
Well, let's hope not.
If you are, somebody will probably cover it for free anyway. Don't worry about it. Yeah.
Stay tuned for that documentary.
Rob just became a seahorse, right?
Yeah, that's right. And premium wise,
and that's only because of the Heineken thing.
yeah, because of the Heineken thing.
Normally
right
that
now.
wouldn't happen.
Normally you would not be able to do that, but they eased some of the rules there to try to get people coverage. Just like they eased the rules saying, oh, Rob didn't take his group insurance at open enrollment in November last year, but hey, he can enroll now if he needs to enroll now, or put his wife on, or put his kids on. Some of those rules have been eased because of this whole virus situation. We're trying to get people covered. We're trying to get them secure. We're trying to get them protected. And on the virus side, what we have to talk about there is Rob had insurance, and the insurance companies are telling him, look, you can test for free. We'll do COVID treatment for free. Even doctor's visits, even hospitalizations are being covered at 100% if it's COVID.
Telehealth?
Telehealth has been expanded, so there's telehealth everywhere. Some of the insurance companies have even gone as far as to make their EAP, their employee protection programs, available to people that don't even have their insurance. So Florida Blue said, you want to use their EAP program, even though you don't have Florida Blue, you can use their EAP program.
Well,
That includes teledoc, financial counseling and assistance, mental health counseling. Everybody's trying to kick in and do what they can to help people in this terrible, stressful time.
Right.
And that's where we go back to communicate, talk to people, seek out a solution. Don't let yourself sit in the house and just be terrified and think, I can't solve this problem somehow.
so things don't fix themselves.
Some things
Never.
don't fix themselves.
Yeah.
And there's solutions you don't know about. On the insurance side, many people thought they couldn't.
And it's very complicated. Come on, I mean, you got to admit it. It's very. I'm glad we have a
well,
professional at this, but it's complicated.
Healthcare is complicated to begin with, just because, okay, forget about a pandemic, forget about any of this other stuff, going back to Obamacare and how that's changed, and then what Trump has changed on that. I mean, are we covered? Are we not covered? What's this covered? What, can we go see our doctor that we've seen for the last 15 years? Can we not go see our doctor anymore? Now, can we go back to that doctor? Do we want to go back to
Right.
I have no idea. I go through the list of whatever they give me.
Yeah.
You're absolutely right. And affordability is huge, right? Can I pay this at a time like this? The answer for most people is yes. We're writing plans at zero premium, $20 a month, $30 a month, 70 cents a month, and most of the time, very good coverage.
Wow.
Couple of $100 for
And
the
the
whole
deductible,
family.
I mean, the deductible is like.
I've got
you
ton
gotta,
of plans.
you gotta understand, if you're paying zero or very little as a premium.
We do backwards math.
Okay.
And here's what I mean by backwards math. Everybody's used to forwards math. How much for me? It's $200. How much for my wife's another $200. How much for my kids? Another $200. For us, more people cost less than less people.
Gotcha.
And if you pay a lower premium, normally you get better insurance. It's backwards. The guy that pays $1,800 a month doesn't get as good a health insurance as the guy that pays 70 cents a month.
Wow.
The guy paying 70 cents a month is like $1 for the doctor, $3 for the specialist, zero deductible, $500 max out of pocket. Incredible insurance.
That's pretty good.
Oh God, better than
Yeah.
anything you can buy with any amount of money out of your pocket.
Yeah.
And so, who qualifies for what? How do we solve the issue with the doctor? Right? Make sure your doctor's in the plan. Make sure your medication's covered. We're doing all of that.
Okay.
Now, I always tell people, I can be honest, and one of my frustrations with professionals is a lot of times I feel like I have to know more about their business than they know. Like they're expecting me to come up with the questions about title insurance or real estate or being an attorney. And I'm thinking, I don't know anything about being an attorney. We don't operate off of honesty. We operate off of what I call the next level, right? Forthright. I'm going to go beyond honesty because I'm going to go ahead and try to solve the problems I know you're going to have, even if you don't ask me. So many times we'll tell people, I got this health plan. I'll take it. Hold on just a minute. Wait, is there a doctor we want to see? Is there a medication we got to be worried about? Is there a facility we got to go to? What's going on? Well, I'm not asking doctors and medications for a pre-existing condition to tell you it's not covered. I'm asking doctors and medications so that they are covered. And so we want to work off of a level beyond honesty. I want to work off being forthright of, we're going to try to help you solve this right versus just solve it or sell something or move down the road.
And I can attest to this. We've sat down and we've talked, and looking at everything we had, he told us you're better off going with a particular plan that we already had in place. And, that goes, I think, a lot further than anything rather than trying to slap somebody into something. But then again, when you look at it on the other side, and we've talked about this a number of times, Julio, with everybody, no matter the business, that when it comes back to it, that's where you're going to get referrals. That's where you're going to be my first call when something happens with something like that, just because you told me. Don't go with me. I can't do anything for you.
I have to give kudos to Craig. We've done a lot of networking in our previous lifetime, and I've never heard anybody say that he's a pushy consultant because he's not a sales. We're not salespeople here.
Right.
We don't got nothing to sell. We got a service to provide. He's got a bit. He's got some information that he can provide to you if you ask him. If you don't ask him, he's going to ask you and do an analysis. A needs analysis for a person based on their health. But come on, I mean that's a good thing to know. You know what I mean? I give him kudos for that. He's done maybe the second or third presentation with us. Very, very informative.
Yeah, and I would like to get it on camera. Maybe we'll work something out somewhere here. next month or whatever
Yeah.
as a separate offshoot from Crema. It'll be a Crema production, but where you can run through on the whiteboard your whole. If you guys have never seen him present, you want to understand insurance like this within 20 minutes, and that's him moving faster than a train can possibly get. And we're talking about the high-speed rail.
Yeah,
But
that's right.
it might be 25 or 30 minutes to make it comfortable, so you can get everything without having to rewind constantly. But I'd like to get that on there because the way you portray it, I have never heard anybody else in your particular business be able to say something that actually makes sense to where it's like, oh, that's why they didn't do that. That's why they do this.
Yeah.
Yeah. Well, that'd be awesome. I'd love to do
Yeah.
that. That'd be really fun.
Yeah.
I'd like to have a nice high end. For you guys that have never been here, this production is amazing. You have to come here sometime. Yeah.
Well, thank you.
Truly amazing. You have to come. They have to come check this out.
But,
Do your presentation when they ask you.
That's it. That's it. Hey, Craig, anything new that we should know about? I mean, we've got a lot of new information that you provided us with, statistics and what you do. But is there anything new that is, people need to know about, or we're gonna provide your contact information below when we're done and all that. But
Right.
is there something that people should know right now?
Yeah, what's going on from here is we move into open enrollment starts soon. It starts in November for a January 1st effective date. What happens this time of year is the insurance companies come out with all their new plans. New insurance companies come to a market if they're going to add a county, because it's really done by county. And so sometimes people go, what's the best insurance for me? I don't know. What county do you live in? Because that drives a lot of it. I live in Orange County, then I've got these elections. I live in Seminole County, I've got those elections. Yeah, it's driven.
Rob, did you know it was by county? I never knew that.
I don't know anything with this. Remember, I made bad decisions.
Why am I asking?
Rob has been screwing up all day. Don't
Why
listen
am I
to him.
asking Rob this question?
Yeah.
No, but I didn't even know that.
Yeah, it's all driven by county. And so we'll say, hey, you're in this county, then we have these options. You're in that county, we have those options. But what that does mean is,
So how does that play with the whole state? Because I always thought it was state by state.
no, it's done county by county. And so if you're in Orange County, I might say, oh, well, you could pick Blue Cross or Ambetter or Oscar. If you're in Seminole County, oh, Florida Healthcare is in the mix now because you're in Seminole County, and Health First is in Seminole County. So it kind of depends on where you're at. That drives which carriers you have the right to pick from. And so we got to look at what's available to you if you're not getting a subsidy. Like, ironically, what I would say to people is, if you're not getting a subsidy from healthcare.gov, you don't want to be on healthcare.gov because there's rates that are filed that are better outside of that. And so that's part of what we're trying to look at with people is, do you get a subsidy? Do you not get a subsidy? And where's the best place to be? But coming up new, rates, plans, plan designs, all that stuff will change in November. We won't really get that information until just about the middle of October. They don't tell us until the middle of October, here's what's available.
They make changes along the way.
Yeah, they make changes along the way. Well, once they've rolled it out, that's it for the year. Yeah, it is whatever it is for the year. And so it'll be a fun time, and we'll be working. We work 7 days a week, about 14 hours a day that time of year. So
yeah, we know we don't see a whole lot around
That's right.
Christmas. So Merry Christmas. We'll wish it to
Thank
you
you.
now.
Yeah, appreciate it. Yeah, I always tell people pretty much whatever hour you're awake, I'm probably sitting at my desk.
Yeah, just like our print companies. What we got Yesha. She's out there listening. I know Sabrini pops in. I'm sure you guys are already saying it's 2021, although I think a lot of us have been saying it's 2021 for since I failed to take my Cobra back in March.
That's right.
I still have my agenda for sale if anybody wants to buy it.
Did you hear if 2020 had an announcer, it'd be Bobcat Goldthwait?
Oh my God.
Or Sam Kinison. It'd be Sam Kinison.
That should be Thursday. That's going back a day.
That's right.
Yeah.
Sam Kinison. It's a desert. Nothing will grow here. For sure, yeah. So
and for those of you millennials, you can Google that.
Yeah,
that's right. Check him out. You'll like it.
All right.
But that would pretty much wrap up kind of what I think we need to cover. I'd love to get a chance, to put that stuff online with you and kind of show people how subsidies work and where we're going to find health insurance. But that would be a different conversation than
Yeah,
today.
we'll work that out. Like I said, those of you that have not seen it, you have got to see this
Yeah.
edit. That will definitely be a must watch. But stick here in Crema, and we'll bring you whatever we possibly can to get you informed about whatever we possibly can.
Yeah.
So right now, how
So-
can they get a hold of you before we do that presentation with you, Greg?
You can call me in the office, 407-937-2900 is the office number, or they can email me, Craig, CRAIG, at CSR, that's S as in Sam, so CSR Benefits, BENEFITS as in Sam.com.
And we'll get all that stuff into the descriptions and everything below. Those of you on YouTube, look over by Julio. You'll see a little coffee cup here in just a second. Click on that, subscribe to our channel, and please share this with somebody that you think could benefit from it. That way you can introduce them right to Craig, and if they need to, they can get a hold of them.
No, we got some great stuff coming up. If you want to be a part of this, please make sure you get with Rob or myself, and especially if you're a Crema de Nona member, VIP, we treat you with VIP treatment. So let us know if we haven't had you on here. Please let us know, right?
Yeah, we wanna get every one of you guys on this, whatever it is, and if you've got stuff you want to know about, you want to see, let us know. We'll find a way to get it on here for you.
Or maybe with you missed a presentation before, let us know. You're looking for information. A lot of you had done that already. Hey, who was the person that presented, 2 weeks ago? We know who that was. We'll get you that information. Is how we roll.
Yeah, we haven't stopped. You guys haven't stopped. That's why we're doing what we're doing.
All because of them.
All because of you guys. So with that, thanks for tuning in. Have
Thank you.
a phenomenal rest of your Tuesday.
Eat a lot of tacos.
Yeah,
Yes,
eat some
Taco
tacos.
Tuesday.
Tacos, Tito's, have at it. Craig, thanks for hanging out with
Thank
us
you
today.
very much. I
As
appreciate
always,
it.
very informative whenever you hang out with us. And we dodged a blow from Isaiah. So
Yeah.
thank
Yes.
God. I don't think I had but a couple drizzles. So
Yeah, that's it.
Yep.
But on another note, we don't put politics on our Crema de Nona page, so don't expect to see anything. But we do inform you, early voting has started. Please get out and make it count. And talking about count, don't forget the 2020 census, man. Get
Oh, yeah.
counted.
yeah, fill out the
It's
stuff.
important stuff.
Do your research. Be informed. That's most anybody can ask out of anything. But
Yeah.
again, enjoy the rest of your Tuesday. Have a phenomenal week. We will see you right here on Friday at noon. And you guys have a great day.
Thank you.
Thanks for watching. See ya!